All right, guys. So what happens to nitrogen? Well, what we get is this transamination, which means we have a transfer of an amino group from an amino acid to another compound. And that's where this alpha ketoglutarate comes in. The NH3 is boom, moved over. It's now on the glutamate ion, and this becomes pyruvate. Hooray, right? Now, this is alanine. This is specific to alanine, all right? But the idea here is this ammonium gets kicked over, and so you're not going to make pyruvate all the time, but you will make this glutamate ion. That glutamate ion then reacts with water, and using NADH plus, we create alpha ketoglutarate, which this is just bumped back over here and can be reused, and we get NH4 plus, which enters the urea cycle and we expel it. So the amino group, transfer of that, glutamate oxidized by NAD plus, NH4 is converted to urea, which is this compound. And so this is just for this reaction. Well, this is alanine right here. This is glycine right here. So we get this to this to this to this because that NH3 plus is then moved over here. And it's up in the air, that's up in the air. And this just gets the carbon oxygen double bond. So there you go. Now this looks a little bit crazy. Now don't think you're going to have to memorize what happens to every amino acid and where does it go and all that stuff. But this is the idea here. You have different amino acids entering the citric acid cycle at different points. Now carbon, that becomes pyruvate, acetyl-CoA, or an intermediate of the citric acid cycle. Now glucogenic, that's blue, that means you get pyruvate or it's used in gluconeogenesis. You have one of those two things. Right? Ketogenic, you'll get acetyl-CoA or it's turned into ketones. All right, so these are two different things that can happen. Now you don't have to memorize which amino acid goes where. Plus, some of them are in two different spots. So like, don't think that's something I'm expecting. But the idea is that it depends on what amino acid you have in your system, what it's going to do. All right. Will it take part in gluconeogenesis or turn into pyruvate? Maybe, depends on what it is. Or is it going to dump into becoming acetyl-CoA or converted to ketone? So there we have the metabolism of carbohydrates, of triacylglycerols, and protein.